Hi guys, welcome to the Oasis Healing Temple. Today's reading, we're going to take a look at how people are viewing you. So what is their first impression? How are they seeing you? How are you presenting yourself? These are the 3 pile choices for today. We're going to reveal your card during your readings. So you will need to use your intuition to draw you into which pile is speaking to you the most. For pile number 1, I did put some little animal totems there to help guide you in. We have the owl. We have the teddy bear. And we have the kitty cat. And my kitty cat Lyron just meowed to confirm. Alright you guys, these are your pile choices for today. Pause the video if you need more time to meditate. The timestamps are located in the description box below, and I'll see you all at your readings. Hi, pile number 1. Welcome to your reading. So y'all were drawn to the owl. So I feel like you have some wisdom since you were drawn to that. And let's reveal your card. We have the Knight. Be brave and honest. So people see you as somebody who's very wise. You're very courageous. You aren't afraid to speak your truth, to share your emotions. I feel like you have a very open heart. You're able to see through illusions. You can see through lies and manipulation. I feel like you may have had to be someone who's very strong. I feel like you may wear your heart on your sleeve, which may have brought a little bit of a heartache or relationship issues or situations that may have caused you to go through some hardship or heartache, but it has taught you a lot of wisdom and how to protect yourself and how to trust your instincts and trust your intuition and listen to your wisdom. And you've learned a lot from those experiences. And some of you, I feel like, may be teachers. You may be guides. You're very connected, very in tune with the inner realms, even with yourself and your own spiritual connection. Yeah, so I feel like you're very strong. Sorry guys, I had to pause the video. Somebody was at my door. Okay, so what I was saying is I feel like people see you as somebody who's very strong. You may appear as guarded to others, but that's only because you discern who is trustworthy. So I feel like you're very observant, very wise. You listen to your intuition. I feel like people see you as somebody who's very protective over your energy. All right, so let's see what your other cards say. Yeah, people see you as somebody who's very honest and truthful, very loyal. Well, actually, let's keep this at the center, shall we? Because this is you. You're seen as somebody who's very wise, very observant, very in tune with themselves. Wow, and you have the Lemurian shaman. Yes, okay, you're able to see. People see you as very perceptive, very analytical, very intelligent, very wise. Yeah, very truthful. Exactly, you're very brave. You're somebody who can face their fears. Or you're seen as somebody who has faced their fears. You're not afraid to face the shadow. You're not afraid to go into the darkness, to bring your light. You're not afraid to confront a challenge. And the peacock agrees. Ooh, and we have flow. Yeah, you're somebody who's able to go with the flow. You have a strong sense of who you are. A strong sense of direction. I feel like you're somebody who, you're perceived as somebody who has a strong connection to spirit. Very wise, very trusting, very conscious, very aware. You have a strong connection, again, to yourself, to your emotions. You have a strong sense of who you are, pile number 1. We have the Nephilim. Controversial, assessing, and new perspectives. Yeah, you have a very strong connection to the divine. a strong sense of self. You aren't afraid to question, to step outside the box. Yeah, people see you as, they may see you as controversial. Just, I feel like you're somebody who challenges other people to challenge their perspective. You know what I mean? Like, you almost like encourage them to face their fears and to challenge the norm, you know what I mean? To step outside of the box and to see things from a different perspective. Very analytical, very wise, very aligned to a sense of self. I feel like other people see you as you're very strong. Yeah, because the Nephilim, we have this individual, they're just very like, brute. They use brute force whenever they're doing things, you know what I mean? They just lift in the trees straight up out the ground. I feel like you are so wise and determined, to source truth, to seek the truth. And you're willing to rip things up, out of the soil, out of the subconscious, the fears, the old patterns, the old wounds. You're not somebody, you're seen as somebody who's just very, you got this shaman energy, very brave, very conscious, very aware of self. And that's because you have done the inner work. You're not afraid to go within and to do the hard work, to do the heavy lifting. You have a strong sense of who you are and what your fears are. I feel like you have a strong connection to your inner child as well. The pink dolphin standing out here. You're not afraid to, not go with society's, standards or roles or patterns and programmings. You're somebody who just, you're very connected, very easygoing. You kind of just go with the flow. You allow things to happen, according to divine plan. And because you have that strong sense of self and that strong connection to who you are and the spirit realm, that's why people just see you as somebody who's very wise, very brave, very honest. And you have the water element too, very in touch with their emotions. You're very kind. You're seen as somebody who's very reflective, very compassionate. You have a lot of empathy. So people see your kind heart. You're not, so you have this beautiful blend of the divine feminine and masculine energy. You're not afraid to show your strong masculine side, and to be brave and to face your fears and to conquer your shadows and to understand them, process them, dissolve them, and integrate them. You're willing to do the hard work, but you're also somebody who's very intuitive, very empathic, very compassionate and empathic, very open-hearted. Yeah, and you take that time. You're seen as somebody who knows how to love themselves. You practice a lot of self-care. Perhaps you do a lot of meditating or just spending time in reflective spaces, out in nature or somewhere by oceans and bodies of water, because we have a lot of water here in your pile. Maybe you go on vacations a lot, and maybe you take cruises. You could be that type of person that has a strong connection to the water. And we have pyrite. Yeah, you have a strong light. People will see you as somebody who's very strong, very successful. You have a lot of potential. You know how to wield your power. You're very attractive. There's something about your eyes. People really enjoy your gaze. And maybe when you look at people, they feel a sense of connection, deep connection, like you're looking at their soul. They feel your presence. They feel like you're somebody who's very attentive to them when you are speaking and engaging with them. People want to be around you. You encourage people to step into their potential, to shine their light, to be their true selves. You're awesome, pile number 1. You're somebody I would want to be friends with too. And you have the amethyst. You have a calming energy, a very healing presence. Others see you as somebody who's very intuitive. Again, you're very wise. You have a very calming presence, very soothing energy. We have all this lavender around here. Yeah, you make people feel very relaxed when they're around you because you go with that flow. You know, you're not somebody who's unstable or hectic or anything like that. You're just somebody who's very straightforward, and you communicate from your heart. You communicate with compassion and passion. Ooh, we have blue lace. Yeah, again, communication coming through. You have a strong voice, and when you speak, people want to listen because you share such wisdom when you do speak. Very soothing voice, pile number 1. Yeah, people, when they're around you, they just feel very calm. You remind them of their truth. You remind them of the possibilities. We have the wise woman of Wonderland. Yeah, people see you as somebody who has a lot of integrity. You appear very balanced to others. Very strong connection to nature. 21-3. Yeah, you feel like, yeah, again, the teacher energy coming through here. The way that you express yourself, people look up to it. They admire it. They admire you for your strength, for your bravery, for your honesty. And you have the winged wise ones. Yes, angelic help. Yeah, you are very angelic in your presence here. Very spiritual, strong connection to the spiritual realms again. Because of a lot of work, people just see you pure of heart, pile number 1. Very strong connection to your inner child as well. I feel like you may be somebody who inspires others to get in touch with their inner child, with the pink dolphin again, to enjoy life, how to flow with life, how to trust themselves, how to trust their instincts, and how to face their fears, and to be brave and honest with themselves and honest with their feelings. You may resonate as a shaman, pile number 1. And we have the Dragon's Duel. Yeah, that's it. See, in these, you teach people how to be conscious of their choices, be conscious of their shadows, and how to see through their shadows, to see through the pain, see through the illusions, and to make conscious choices. Number 5, you bring a lot of change. I feel like some people may... a lot of times when you are somebody who's very in touch with who you are and you shine so bright, sometimes you can trigger others who haven't done their inner work, and to them it can be a little off-putting because you reflect to them where they may be denying parts of themselves or denying their feelings and their experiences in some way, because it pulls it up to the surface. When you are somebody who's so full of light and love, it shines a light on their shadows where they're not loving themselves, or where they're not shining a light on part of their, where they're not doing their work, you know what I mean? So other people, and that's okay, there's nothing wrong with you. Let those people just move on because they're not ready to experience your light and your joy and your love. They're just not there yet on their path. Has nothing really to do with you. Those people will just naturally fall away on their own. But I feel like you already know that because you have such a strong connection with who you are and with the divine. I feel like some people know that there's many different layers to who you are, and I feel like you guard yourself against certain energies, the ones that do not really understand you, the ones that may be still in conflict with their own selves. And I feel like you know who to protect yourself from. You're very wise because there's so many layers to you, and I feel like you don't reveal everything to everyone, and which is very wise. So let me see. Yeah, I feel like maybe sometimes people think that you may contradict yourself, but I think that's part of the beauty of you, because you may you know, I feel like you can, because you know who you are deeply, you really don't care what people's perspectives are. And I feel like you have such a strong sense of self that you are able to embody both those aspects of who you are. You know, I feel like you can be very extroverted as well as introverted. It just depends on the energy, because you just go with the flow and what you feel like doing and what versions of you feel like expressing. You know, I feel like you can be that person who goes out and has fun and enjoys maybe a drink, but you can also be that person who practices meditation and spirituality and still embody both. You know, I feel like people may try to label you, but because there's you know, you have such a strong sense of self that there's no, I mean, labels are just there to help people understand. And I feel like it's hard for people to try to put you in a box, and I feel like that's the an enjoyment that you may take pleasure in, that people can't label you and they can't put you in a box. And whereas they may think that you are, you know, that they have you figured out, you may surprise them by changing things up, you know. I feel like you're somebody who's always on the go, you're always moving, you're always growing, you're always expanding, you're always going forward, you know. So it's hard for people to try to pin you down. Okay, but at the same time, you're somebody who's very stable, you know what I mean? Like, you embody that whole duality, the whole contrast of, you know, up and down, left and right, male, female, black and white. I feel like you're somebody who's also here to help anchor in, you know, 5D Earth, which is where there is no duality. You know, everything is always serving the divine, everything is always serving love. And you come from a place of unity and wholeness, you know. So that's awesome. I love that. Okay, you guys, I think I'm going to go ahead and close your reading now. I hope this reading serves you in some way. Thank you all for being here on my channel and joining me in the temple today. Please like and subscribe if this reading resonates, or if any of my readings resonate with you. I'd love to have you here on my channel. Comment below if you feel like sharing your story or how this reading resonated with you. Sending y'all lots of love. Take care and have a blessed day. Welcome, pile number 2. So this is how people are viewing you, and you were drawn to the teddy bear. So I feel like you're somebody who's very sensitive. You're very kind, but you're also very protective. And yeah, I feel like you're just somebody who's very cuddly and very dreamy, because we usually, when I think about teddy bears, it's something that you cuddle with at nighttime, you know, so very gentle, very comforting, very nurturing energy. And you have guardian angel. People see you as somebody who's very very angelic, very peaceful, very soft. Yeah, very gentle energy, very wise, very comforting, very empathic. Some people may see you as their guardian angel. All right, I'm just going to warn you guys. It is a gray and cloudy day. We just had a lot of rain yesterday, so a lot of the animals are just out and about and making lots of noises. And I will have to do so many edits on this video to cut out all the nature sounds. I apologize if you hear them in the background. The goats may pass by, or the roosters keep sounding off because they're very confused. It's very cloudy. So just bear with me. Let's see, we have Know Yourself. Look at that. Look at the pink energy coming through on this. Yeah, I feel like you're very soft, very gentle, very heart open, very empathic, very open. We have Well of Dreams. Yeah, you're very dreamy. You have a dreamy energy to you. You may inspire others to follow their dreams. I feel like you have a strong mothering energy. Yeah, with the turtle here. I feel like you have a strong intuition. You're very connected to your emotions, to your instincts. You have that mama bear energy or papa bear energy. We have the Anunnaki, okay, and we have the Pleiades. Yeah, I feel like you are somebody who, like when people are going through conflict or there's arguments, I feel like you're somebody who helps bring peace, you bring perspective, you bring a gentle, kind energy to the situation, to the people that are involved, to the conflict, you help find resolution. Yeah, very down-to-earth energy here. I feel like you may have a strong connection to Mother Earth. People see you as very grounded. We have crop circles. Okay, yeah. You're very intuitive, very connected to, maybe some of you are very, people perceive you as being very psychic. You have a very strong third eye, telepathic even. Yeah, you have a strong connection to the divine where you can interpret maybe dreams for other people. Maybe people come to you for advice. They look up to you. You offer lots of unconditional love. You have the bloodstone. Okay. Yeah, you give people courage to face their fears. You remind them that they're not alone, that you that they're always supported, that they're loved, that you're there. I feel like, yeah, you're a very good friend, or you just have that very you know, parental energy, and people lean on you for support. And sometimes that can be a little heavy to carry sometimes, you know. And but I feel like you know yourself and you know when to say no. Yeah, very grounded. What do we have? We have turquoise. Ooh. Yeah, look at that. You're very balanced. You help find balance. You help people to find their balance, to communicate where maybe there is conflict and you know, drama or issues, difference of opinions. You help find that solid ground. You help restore communication where there wasn't. You help people to see different perspectives and different points of view. Yeah, look at all that, so many different colors. Yeah, I feel like you're a very colorful person. Blue kyanite. Yeah, lots of balance. You're very balanced in your energy, which is why people feel so comfortable around you. That nurturing energy you have, you just communicate it very well. Whether you realize it or not, it's something that just comes off of you. And I feel like the way that you express yourself, it comes off with a lot of confidence. So whether you realize it or not, you come off as somebody who is very confident with who they are, confident in the way that they express themselves, very wise. People see you as, you know, you're very dreamy, very free-flowing, almost like gypsy type energy, I feel. We have Peridot. Yeah, you're very bright, you're very positive, you're a joy to be around. You bring a lot of inspiration, a lot of light, a lot of pleasure when people are around you. You're just, I feel like you bring a lot of laughter, you encourage laughter, and a lot of the stuff that you do, you bring excitement to people, you encourage people and inspire people to act on their dreams, act on their joy, to be confident with themselves, be confident in the body, in the way that they express themselves, and the way that they see themselves. You just bring a lot of enlightening energies wherever you go. Yeah, and people just see you as a joy, that you move freely and easily in the things that you do and the way that you express yourself. There's an ease about you, an ease in the way that you express and communicate to others. And your vision, the way that you express your perspective even. And you can bring harmony to situations that were very, confrontational. I feel like you're able to help be the voice of reason and to give people perspectives where they may feel stuck or, lost or heartbroken. I feel like you're that person that brings encouragement and empathy to them. Yeah, you have such just a beautiful energy to you that people really enjoy being around. Beautiful heart, very grounded in your energy, a strength in the way that you communicate, in the way that you nurture and love, the way that you see things through your heart, the way that you express your heart and express yourself. It's something that people admire. And we have Gaia's Garden. Nice, yeah. People see you as somebody who's very, abundant in your life. You have an abundant life. I feel like because you're not afraid to express yourself or to go after your dreams and your desires, and because you have a strong sense of who you are, people just see you, your life being very fruitful. Like you're not afraid to live life, and to find pleasure and enjoyment in everything that you do. Even when there may be a struggle, I feel like you're somebody that's always very positive about the situation. Like you can see the reasons why things happen and why they need to happen, even when at the time we don't understand, even when we can't see the reason why, which is why you're so, why people see you as someone who's very nurturing and very wise, very comforting. You have like the Empress energy. That's right. You are like embodying the Empress, the Emperor. Somebody who's very strong sense of self. And it's like, I feel like some people feel like you can create what you want, or that you get what you want, even though it may not be that way. But other people perceive you as, living a fruitful life, an abundant life that's very successful, very rich, very blessed. We have the Dream Walker. Again, dreams. Very dreamy. There's something with dreams here. I feel like you're very telepathic, and it could be psychic, very in tuned. I want to cover up your center card. We'll put you here. The Dream Walker. You're able to straddle the line here, to walk between both worlds. Strong connection between the physical and the spiritual world. Very intuitive. very grounded, very balanced. Lady of the Gift. Wow, you're very generous. Generous with your heart. You're generous with your wisdom. You're generous with your possessions. I feel like you're very giving. You're very sharing. You're like a little Care Bear, you know. You just shine your light wherever you go. You inspire others with your beauty, with your wisdom, with your love, with the way that you express yourself, with your light, with your truth. Yeah, you have a strong connection to spirit, to the, could be with the angelic realms, because you have guardian angel here. I feel like people find protection when they're around you. They feel very uplifted. They feel maybe close to heaven when they're with you because of your beautiful heart, you know. And even though you may have had to stand on your own and work hard for everything that you have, other people, you know, you may attract people who are jealous because they see you having this abundant life, or what they appear to be an easy life, you know, and not really knowing your circumstances. But from the outside perspective, others may think that you may have had it easy, you know, and that isn't necessarily the case. And some people, you know, always love to judge and put a label on things that they don't understand. But I feel like you are, if people were to know you as the gift, and to be blessed, because you offer such unconditional love, because you yourself know what it's like not to have unconditional love, which is why it's something that you try very hard to embody, and you do it well, pile number 2, which is why people are so drawn to you, and they just see you as such a, you know, very nurturing, cuddly person that they want to be around. You inspire people to create a life, the life of their dreams, you know. I feel like you're very inspirational, and you have a lot of ideas, you have a lot of visions, a lot of perspectives, a lot of things that you want to create in the world. People may see you as very creative, and that everything that you do brings success, or, you know, takes off for you. You're seen as somebody who's very successful, can easily communicate their emotions and their needs to people. Very open-hearted. You're seen as somebody who has a lot of strength. You have a lot of courage. You're not afraid to face challenges, and you just keep getting up, you know. You keep going for it. You keep going after your dreams. And I feel like you're always creating. You just let your spirit soar. You just take flight. You let yourself be guided by your dreams, by spirit, by the divine, by God, source, creator. Yeah, you just are, you're seen as somebody who's just filled with so much light and so much love, pile number 2. Yeah. People are very drawn to your beautiful heart. Okay. All right, you guys, that's what I'm seeing for you. I hope this reading resonates. If you like my channel, if you like my readings, please like and subscribe. Comment below if this reading resonated with you guys. I'd love to hear from you all, and I'd love to have you back for future readings. Sending y'all lots of love. Take care and have a blessed day. Welcome, pile number 3. This is your reading and how people are viewing you. And you were drawn to the kitty cat. So immediately I feel like you are somebody who's very independent. You don't need other people's approval. I feel like you're very instinctual. You're very intuitive, very in touch with who you are. And let's see what your card is. You got the Spirit Fox. That's so wild. They're both kind of like, you know, feline. So we have trust your talents in changing times. Yeah, I feel like you're very independent, very in control, very talented, very gifted. People see you as somebody who's very take charge. You don't need other people's approval. Did I say that already? Probably. Very wise. Yeah, you trust yourself. You trust your inner guidance. You trust your heart. I feel like you have a strong connection to the divine, to the spirit realm. Very balanced. All right, let's see. Oh, you're very talented. People see you as very talented because you allow yourself to be guided. You're able to navigate challenges very easily. You have the new man. Okay, people see you as somebody who's very strong, very in tune with your masculine side. You know, you're very courageous, you're very strong, you're not afraid to work hard. You have a lot of potential. I feel like you're very nurturing masculine, you know. There's this duality in all things, and I feel like you are, you know, some men think, you know, I mean, this is the old programming that in order to be seen as, you know, a masculine or man, that you are to show no emotion, you know, and be very hard, very strict, and I feel like you're somebody who's very in touch with their nurturing self, you know, very balanced masculine and feminine. You're not afraid to be nurturing and kind and empathetic and creative, you know, very, it's like the enlightened masculine here, very protective energy. We have initiation. Look at the whale. Okay, very wise. People see you as somebody who's very wise. You're not afraid to walk to the beat of your own drum, which is why you're so independent, and people admire you for that. They admire you for your strength and your courage to be able to be who you are, to be independent, to not be reliant on other people's approval, to be who you are. You have a strong connection to Source, Spirit, God, the Creator, you know, the higher powers. Very wise. People see you as an old soul. People may see you as a leader, very passionate, maybe very passionate about your talents, your gifts. You may be very vocal in sharing your ideas with others. Some of you may be very musically inclined. We have 2 9s here. Yeah, you're here to bring change. You're here to shift people's perspectives. Maybe that's part of your legacy. Your work is to change. Maybe in your childhood, maybe you didn't have an enlightened father. Maybe you know, your parents and your family lineage, you know, you may have had the, you know, the stern, strict, you know, children are to be seen, not heard, and, you know, very detached, not open-hearted, very shut down emotionally. And I feel like you're here to bring that change. Yeah, the Vesica Pisces here. This is the masculine and feminine coming into union here. And you have, you know, the enlightened masculine and the divine feminine here as well. You're here to bring something new. And people see that about you because you're so independent and so in tune with who you are. And that you're not afraid to be yourself. Which is why you're here. That's part of your purpose. You're here to bring that energy, bring something new, to bring harmony between where there's duality. You're here to bring that harmony and that healing. We have the Vegans, solitude, independent, and peace. Yes. Okay, I feel like people see you as somebody who is very, you may be somebody who is very, you know, with independence also comes sometimes solitude, you know, where you're not afraid to be alone or to walk a path alone. Even though we do enjoy company along the way, you don't need someone to complete you. You know, I feel like you know that you are whole within yourself, and having company along the way is just, you know, bonus. But I feel like you find a lot of peace in solitude. People see you as somebody who's very, like, almost like a hermit. You know, it's kind of the vibe I'm getting from you. Somebody who's very just wise and in touch with who they are. Very grounded in your energies. I feel like you have a strong connection to Mother Nature, Mother Gaia. Just a second, you guys. Okay. Back to where I was. I feel like you're seen as somebody who is a family man. Like you really enjoy taking care of your family. Very rooted and grounded in family. You enjoy children. You enjoy nurturing them, giving them support, letting them know that they're loved, and you enjoy being there. You're very present with your family. So I definitely feel like you're a family man, and you're not afraid to show your emotions. You're not afraid to embody your emotions. You're bringing that change. Whereas I feel maybe in your family lineage, this was not the case, but you're not afraid to walk that path and to be a leader in that way, which is what other people admire about you. And it does take strength. It takes courage to walk against the grain, to go against the grain, you know, and choose for yourself the way that you want to raise your children, the way you want to be living in partnership, even the way that you want to love and give love. And I feel like people see that, people see you bringing that, and it's very admirable. You have turquoise, okay, very balanced energy, yes. People see you as someone who's not afraid, you know, to let your heart, to love. You're seen as somebody who's very loving, very, yeah, look at this beautiful, strong, you know, this is garnet, and we have these red hearts. You're a very passionate person, very loving, very kind. You are not afraid to embody, you know, that nurturing masculine energy. Okay, let's see what else we have. Selenite. Yeah, you're here to bring change. You're here to bring that divine feminine, that enlightened masculine to the earth. Very in touch with your emotions. Very balanced energy. Yeah, you're here to bring change. You're here to bring something new, to purify the old ways, the old programs, the old belief systems. You're somebody who's seen as you have a very pure heart. I feel like it's easy for you to tap into your inner child, you know. I feel like you want to give your children what you didn't receive. Very strong connection to children. And we have labradorite. Okay, magic and mystery. Yeah, you're seen as somebody who has a very open mind. You're seen as somebody who's kind of mysterious to others. People may not, you know, understand you, but you definitely have a strong intuitive nature. Very open-minded person. Okay, we have the map maker of destiny. Yeah, you're very authentic. You're very inspirational to others, especially to other men. They may see you as, you know, a teacher or a guide, an influencer. Yeah, you're seen as somebody who just, you follow your own path, you follow your own inner compass. You're here to create change. You are somebody who's just, you could be making it up as you go along because you're very intuitive. You just kind of flow. You're free-spirited. A very whimsical. We have the spiral dancer. Yeah, you're here to bring that change. I feel like you offer a unique perspective on the masculine energy. You just have a unique way of doing things and a unique perception that other people really admire and look up to. You encourage people to have a stronger connection, family connection, or unit. I feel like you're seen as somebody, you have that, you present that. You present a strong family connection. Very empathic, very compassionate about who you are. And like I said, you're very strong, very courageous. You may wear your heart on a sleeve. But I feel like you're also very protective over what's yours, you know. Very instinctual. And then you have Gaia's Garden. This came out in maybe pound number 1, pound number 2. I can't remember. You're seen as somebody who's very abundant. You're very successful, very creative, very in touch with Mother Nature. Like I said, yeah, you're very grounded. You could be seen as somebody who just seems to have, seems to have it all. A happy marriage, happy relationships, happy children, because you're very independent. Perhaps they may not see how hard you've had to work to get to where you are. So they just see you as very abundant in many ways, and they may think that things come easy to you, but they don't know the path that you've had to walk to get there, and the strength and the resilience that it takes to be yourself and to be independent and not need outside approval to create the life that you want, you know. And it takes a lot of courage, it takes a lot of passion and strength in order to do that. So those who know you know how strong you are, and they know the path that you've walked, and they admire you for it. They see how strong you are and how kind and courageous you are to be this nurturing, you know, masculine, to bring that energy. And you could be a feminine, and that's what you're drawn to. You may want a partner and a mate who has that nurturing side, you know. An open heart, to be open but also strong at the same time, you know, and to set healthy boundaries, to be that protective energy, protective over family, but still have that open heart. And that is the enlightened masculine, who can be both hard and soft when the energies require it. And I feel like you are seen as somebody who knows who they are, and they know how to apply wisdom and apply strength and apply pressure where there needs to be. But you also are very gentle, very kind, and comforting, and empathic as well. Okay, do we see anything else? No, I think that's it. Pile number 3. You're just a very free-spirited person, and you let yourself be guided by your heart. And I congratulate you for doing that, because it takes a lot of courage to express that, who you are, without needing that outside approval, and to create the life of your dreams and what's meaningful to you, What does success look like to you? What does happiness look like to you? You know, what's joy, what's abundance, all of that. And you are in touch with that creative part of you and realize that you can create the life of your dreams based on what makes you feel satisfied and what makes you feel loved and happy. Oh, I love that. All right, you guys, I'm going to end your reading now. Thank you all so much for being here in the temple with me today. Please like and subscribe if you like my readings. I'd love to hear from you if you feel like commenting below. Sending y'all lots of love. Take care and have a blessed day.